Hello, welcome to Lucie's Vision Exposed. I'm Lucie. Lucie's Vision Exposed is a segment on my YouTube channel, Lucie's Vision, where I expose what's hidden in the dark and I bring it to the light. In other words, I bring forward the channel message that I received from the universe and I bring it to the light by decoding what the universe is trying to tell me and show me in my visions. So, for today's Lucie's Vision Exposed, we're going to talk about Rashad Jamal White. I had a vision about him last night, and I was able to see, I guess, the future of what's going to transpire against him and what's going to happen to him. I also got to see things I didn't know of people who is like Rashad Jamal White, who spread the truth, who speak for God, the messenger of God. These are a messenger of God, these type of people who bring forward the truth. I see what happens to them when they do that. I saw a glimpse of it last night in my vision, okay? Especially regarding him. I'm referring to my notes because I've written a few things down when I awoken. I don't think it's in this notebook. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so who is Rashad Jamal White? Rashad Jamal White is a conscious spiritual leader on YouTube. He's been doing many lectures on his YouTube channel, teaching the people, teaching the collective about what's hidden in the dark, teaching them about the unknown, teaching them about ourselves, just teaching them about hidden knowledges that many people are not aware of or not paying attention to. So that's basically what he do. He's also is a rapper. He spread his music, his message through his music, like many chosen ones do and many will do in the future, okay? They spread their truth through their music, okay? So he's a rapper. And another thing, he also sells jewelry and many other things that he do as a, entrepreneur. So he's a conscious leader who helped teach the collective, the public, to help them awaken. Okay, that's his job as a chosen one. He's one of the messenger of God. Okay, that was not only was it proven to me, it was basically God was telling me that this is one of ours. So that's why I was able to speak for Rashad Jamal White and who he is. Okay, so if you guys remember Corey Miller, that was the first person I did with it regarding to Lucie's Vision Exposed. I told you I had a channel message from the universe, and she gave me his name, and I started to look into who he was and who he is and what happened to him. And I did a whole breakdown on my channel about Corey Miller. Corey Miller was presented in this vision as well. So I'm gonna briefly describe to you guys the vision. I'm not gonna go in details, and I'm gonna skip many parts because it doesn't pertain to you guys. It pertains to me that I need to keep for right now. Okay, so regarding the vision start off, what I can remember is Corey Miller's point of view, right? It's Corey Miller I'm seeing. This is the future. Things have changed in the future. I told you there's going to be a lot of change in the future. There's going to be a lot of chaos, and we're basically on survival mode. All the people of this world is going to be on survival mode. Everything is different. Okay, so that's just giving you guys a reality of how the setting is in this vision. Okay, so that's the time that we're in the future. And I see Corey Miller, and I see different people outside, whatnot. So I'm seeing his point of view, and then people were, like, he was in a wheelchair, Corey Miller. And people were bypassing him as if they didn't know who he was. They didn't care for him whatsoever. They just kept it moving. And I'm like, what? I felt some type of way, but I was with someone, and we was walking towards him. We said hello. I said hi. I was the first one to introduce, like, say hey or whatnot to Corey Miller. Corey Miller. It wasn't Corey Miller, but that's who I saw in the vision. But now I understand what the universe was trying to tell me. So it's Corey Miller in the wheelchair and whatnot, and people were bypassing him as if they didn't know him, as if he wasn't popping back in the 90s and early 2000s. People just didn't recognize it or didn't acknowledge him after all the things that he had done for the community. They just didn't acknowledge him. So when I saw him, when people was passing him, and I introduced myself, like I greeted him. I didn't have to introduce myself because he knew who I was, but I greeted him, and so was the person that I was with. And then we walked away after that, after we had a conversation. Soon as we walked away, I saw a vision of the past regarding, like, I had a vision within the vision, basically, of Corey Miller point of view, how people were rocking his music. I think it's like the 90s or 80s, I don't know, the 90s, right? And they was rocking his music. There's young boys, you listen to his music, they just bopping their heads, just like having a good time. But there was a father figure. These young group of boys that I saw were black, and the father was black. And then he saw them, listening to Corey Miller, and this father did not like that. He did not want his boys to listen to him. So the universe showed me that, and I'm like, okay, what is this? So I know that's something right there I need to decode regarding the father, these two boys that was rocking his music, that's having a good time, right? So I saw that. So I'm like, okay. And when I had a glimpse of the past, as I was walking away from Corey Miller in the wheelchair, I had a glimpse of the past, like a vision within the vision. Let's go back to the vision itself. I'm walking, right? And my sister is the one who I was with. She was like, he wore his heart he showcased his heart too much. Like, he wore his heart on his sleeve. So that makes him an easy target. And I told her, but he's the one that's closer to God. That's what crazy though. Those who wear their heart on their sleeve is the one that's closer to God. And those people who walk past him and as if they didn't recognize him or didn't remember him or didn't want to greet him, they weren't closer to God. They wasn't even near him, near God, of what God is, divinity. Basically, they wasn't of light. All right, so they were still in the shadow. They were still in the dark. So I said, that's so crazy. Like, people see him as a target, easy target, because he wore his heart in his sleeve. You could tell that the vision when I saw Corey Miller in the wheelchair, he looked like he'd been through a lot because he's in a wheelchair at this point, and he looked like he'd been through a lot. And so when I was just telling her that, she's like, oh yeah, she was just shaking her head, and I knew what the universe meant, was telling me then. So I saw a different angle of this vision. I went back to where I first saw Corey Miller in the wheelchair. It wasn't Corey Miller anymore. See, this is where it plays in. It was Rashad Jamal White that was in that wheelchair the whole time. It wasn't Corey Miller. The universe was showcasing to me Corey Miller because Rashad Jamal White and Corey Miller have a similar story. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. If you guys go back to my Lucie Vision Exposed on Corey Miller, I said that he has been falsely accused. Is that he isn't just being, like, he has been falsely accused. He's serving a life sentence for a crime that he did not commit due to improper investigation of his case and due to corruption, okay, by the DA and the sheriff police force that was investigating his case. I disclosed that in that video. So with Rashad Jamal White, I said he's a conscious leader. He teach the people. He have many different lecture videos on his channel exposing what's hidden in the dark, exposing what people do not know, right? He also do music. I say he spread his message through his music as well. There's something about these two characters that ties them together, okay? I feel there's more to the story of why they really wanted to get Corey Miller back then. Not just because he was a high-profile celebrity. He was like, he had a huge following back then, and people love his music. I believe he was a conscious rapper as well, Corey Miller. So I feel like both these people, what they had in common is that they were conscious people, very self-aware, very wise for their age, especially coming from their background. So that's like a threat for these type of people, which I'm going to get to these type of people. Not only that, they had a following that's a threat. Not only that, Rashad Jamal White represents, you know how he was getting a lot of love when he wasn't in jail, guys, I gotta get to Rashad Jamal, what happened to him. Follow me here. He gets a lot of love. He has a huge following, Rashad Jamal White. He has a huge following. People love him. People admire him, all that stuff, right? There's people that, like, fast forward to now, Rashad Jamal has been arrested. He has been accused of molesting his children or something like that. And so he has molestation charges against him. So that's why he's currently in prison right now, or in jail. I don't know if he's in prison, but he's in jail, incarcerated right now, due to that charge. And he also is being accused of being a cult leader, and also being accused of being tied to two murder cases that has nothing to do with him. But I'm gonna get to that. He's also being accused of being tied into two murder cases because these people who commit these murders follow his channel. So they think that they view Rashad Jamal White as a cult leader, and they're tying him into all that, which he had nothing to do with it. He don't have nothing to do with these people, but they're accusing him of being a cult leader with no evidence, just because he's a conscious leader who spread the truth and teach. That's all he do, but he's a cult leader at this time. Like, what the hell? And it's like, if you guys read certain articles that I read regarding what happened to Rashad Jamal White and how he was arrested and how he's being accused, look at the language of how they write the article. Look how they're trying to persuade you to see him a certain way, to see him as a, insane individual, to see him as a cult leader. They literally painting the picture for everybody to see it. People who are easily influenced, though. Those who are not easily influenced can see right past this persuasion tactics. This is a repeated tactic that's been done over the years against people who are conscious. They frame them with persuasion. Like, they frame these individuals and they persuade the people, the public, to see them a certain way, to see them as a bad individual, a bad influence, someone who's destructive, someone who's insane, someone who is not capable to live amongst society. They frame them to look and be to look that way. They go to their history, they go to their background, they go to they use anything to pin. They either plant something or they use something that will something of their past against them. Like, this is, say they have a criminal background, they got arrested for weed, or they got arrested for doing whatever they got arrested for. They use that against them and paint them as a criminal, paint them as a person that can't live amongst society. That's what they do. They use persuasion, they use propaganda. That's the word, propaganda, against these people. These are not new tactics. These are not something that has just started. This has been going on for decades. To people who's been trying to awaken the people who's been spreading the truth. They frame them, or they either frame them and get them incarcerated, get them in prison somehow, or they kill them. Sometimes both. That's what they do. That's their tactic. They kill them all, but first, before they do all that, they have to paint a picture, persuade the public, persuade the people to look at them a certain way. Therefore, it's like, so that way they can come in. It's like, oh yeah, we saved the day. And in all actuality, they're not saving the day. They are basically keeping you guys stuck even more. You are still asleep. And not only that, these people who's doing this most likely are working for the other side. If you guys go back to my YouTube channel, very beginning, I exposed this truth, this channel message that I received from the universe way back in the 2020. I exposed this, but I think I shared with you guys back at the beginning of 2022 of this message that I received. The universe told me, the great divide, look deeper. There is some type of great divide amongst different beings that's happening in the cosmos, like a war. There's a war going on, right? There's two sides. One side is for God, the other side is for a different God that's not of light, that's not of divinity, okay? So there's two different sides. There are many people, many sectors of the government, many secret society, many government that's not government organization that's not public to the people, who are working for the other side. There are many people who are working in the government that's working for God, the light. There's two different sides. So you guys have to pay attention to the pattern. Okay, you gotta pay attention to whose side are you on, and what side you're standing on, because when the trumpet hits, you can't just decide when it happens. No, you gotta decide, like, what side you on. Okay, there's a side. Okay, Rashad Jamal White is in my side, which is of God, the universe, the light, divinity, exposing the truth, bringing what's hidden in the dark to the light. That is what we're all about. So he's part of our group. That is why the universe showed me a vision of him, gave me what's going to happen to him. He's going to be in a wheelchair. And that could be a double meaning to that he's going to be broken down into, but he's going to still, his heart is still there. His soul is still there. He's still, have his soul intact. He still have that loving nature. Because I said in the vision, but my sister got mad, like, why, he's showcasing his heart too much. He's an easy target. It's dangerous. Because in the future, I said it's dangerous at the time because people acting strange. People acting very, very strange in the future, like lethal strange. They acting like they didn't have no common sense. But like when you wear your heart in your sleeve and during those times, you are an easy target. So you gotta move a certain way. But he did, and I said, you know what's so funny and crazy though? He's the one that's most closer to God. Because he still have his heart. He still had that love energy. Even though he's going to be broken down, or he's being broken down right now when he's incarcerated right now, he still have his soul intact, and he's still of God, and God still have his back. So there you have it. We are on the side of God, and that's all you have to know about that. But in the vision, there was something else with this that I decoded, or that I saw. So Rashad Jamal White represent Corey Miller, how he was framed. Rashad Jamal White is framed for something that he didn't do. Child molestation, he didn't do that. That's a lie. Not only that he was framed, you see how he had a lot of love when he wasn't accused of this, and like he was just teaching and being himself. He had a lot of love, but when he got incarcerated, crickets. There was no love anymore. You see a lot of people coming out, saying this, saying that about him, but they didn't say none of those things when he was not accused of doing something. Wasn't saying that the whole time, but as soon as he got incarcerated, you see all these type of people want to get fame off his name. You know what's the pattern? Yeah, those people, those who still in the dark, those are the ones. So he's just like Corey Miller, how Corey Miller was so much like love and all that stuff, and like once he got incarcerated, like there was still love there, but it died off. Where's the love? The love, like, it's like she was showing me the love, like the people who was watching him, who was following him, who praised him, like gave him a lot of love. Wasn't there when he was broken down? They was not there for him whatsoever. Well, they wasn't there. So that's what I gather why she showed me Corey Miller first, because they are very similar, their story. Because Rashad Jamal White is being framed. And he is one of many. There's many people like him that that same tactic has been done to them. So lastly, I would like to say, in my vision, I saw a moment where I saw what they do to these the messengers of God, the chosen ones. They break them down, right? But they do something with their brain. Like I saw a woman a man. Okay, there was a man. Couldn't see his face. He was a white man. And there's a white woman with red hair, and there's a black woman in this room. This man was abusing these two women. I just gotta say that. But they were with him, right? There was an individual person I couldn't see, but he was working on their brain. They didn't expose what they knew, but whatever he was doing on their brain, because they were still conscious, they were still awake. And he was doing something towards their brain. And whatever he was doing, it was like they were speaking the truth. They were speaking everything they knew. So that's what he was doing, and it kind of changed them. It made them different. I don't know how, like psychotic or something. They wasn't the same after what he did to their brain. So that's what I saw. The universe showed me that this is what they're doing. This is what they're causing to these people. And I believe that's what they're doing to, what's the name? Rashad Jamal White, because that's the same vision I had. That was one moment I saw. But this man, he was very, very mad. He was just mad. Whoever this man is, it seemed like this man has some type of power, some type of control. Like he worked in some type of high position in life. But I don't recognize this man. I couldn't see his face clearly. but he was just mad. He was just mad at people like me and like Rashad Jamal White, people like Corey Miller. He was just mad at us for speaking the truth, but he was really mad about one particular chosen one that he couldn't get to. I just gonna leave it like that. So this is my Lucid Vision Exposed. There will be more information that's gonna come out regarding this. As I know more, I share more on what you guys need to know. That is all. Lucie out. Bye. Comment down your... No, it's okay. Bye.